Hello, beautiful people. This is Dr. Tara Rasta. I am a chiropractor and I am making this video to help you create more harmony in your relationships. I have been seeing this negative trend on social media where people are projecting their anger into other people with their comments and their insulting messages because they're feeling their feelings, and this is a stressful time for all of us. And often during times of distress, we tend to become more defensive and respond to one another with low moods and negative mindsets. This video is to help you create more loving relationships with the people you're spending this time with, whether it's your partners, your children, your parents, your roommate, and hopefully you can use these guidelines as a way to enhance your relationship. I have 4 points here. My number 1, your thoughts cause incompatibility. When we are in a low mood, that impacts our behaviors and it impacts the way we respond to another person. And when you respond to another person when you are feeling low, most likely you will also create defensiveness in the other person. Something that you may have been seeing it as a refreshing difference between you and another person, and even an opportunity to learn, can be seen as incompatibility and something that can even destroy a marriage. We all want the same thing. We all want to feel warmth and closeness and affinity with our partners, with our roommates, with our children. And in order for us to feel those feelings, we have to be able to cultivate them. And you cannot cultivate those feelings when you are in a negative pattern or a negative mindset. So I highly recommend that you evaluate your incompatibilities when you are in a higher mood in comparison to a lower mood. If you're in a low mood, yesterday's refreshing differences are seen as incompatibilities. So I suggest that you go for a run, you go for a meditation, you go for journaling about understanding the other person instead of making a decision. Because again, when we are in a low mood, our feelings will create our behaviors, and our behaviors may put the other person in a low mood and a defensiveness as well. My second point, do not communicate when you're feeling down. You are most compelled to communicate when your spirit is low, especially with your partner, and it is the worst time to communicate when you're feeling distressed. The reason for that is that when we're feeling distressed and we're feeling negative and we're in a troubled state of mind, we tend to transfer that feeling through our communication to the other person. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling worried, if you're feeling anxious, that creates the context and the state of mind for you and the other person. One of the greatest things that you can do to see if your discussion and your communication is actually progressing is pay attention to the degree of closeness between you and the other person. If you are feeling really close when you guys are talking and you're feeling those warm feelings, continue on your discussion. You are on the right track. However, if you're feeling distant and you're feeling defensive, that means that the discussion is alienating its parties, and it's best to stop the conversation, take a little break, and come back to it later when your mood is better. My third point, low moods cause relationship dysfunction. If you're in a low mood, it's evident that you may have problems in your relationship, because we tend to go into fault finding when our mood is low. We tend to focus on things that are negative. We tend to see things that are not working. So I highly suggest that when you are in a low mood, do not make any decisions. Instead, look at the ways in which you can enhance your own mood. However, let's say that it's the opposite. You're in a good mood and your partner is in a bad mood. Do not try to get your partner out of that mood. Most likely you will end up feeling the same way. Maintain your well-being, maintain your understanding, because your calm energy, your well-being will help your partner rise his spirit. Instead of feeling defensive when somebody else is in a low mood, maintain your well-being and be able to see beyond that person's counterproductive behavior into their troubled state of mind. We all get bogged down by negative feelings. We all get bogged down by the stress that's going on in our world right now. So it is best to have compassion and understanding when you see your partner is in a low mood. You don't need to do anything about a mood. Moods are like clouds, they come and go. Allow your partner to feel their feelings, have compassion, have understanding, and just listen. Don't try to give them advice. Don't try to make them feel better by suggesting that they shouldn't be feeling negative. Just be there for them. Your compassion alone will help the person recognize their counterproductive behavior and their insecure state of being, and that alone will help them change their behaviors and see how they are reacting, maybe even not productive to the situation. My last point, and my most important point, compassion is the best lubrication during times of friction. If you are having compassion for somebody who's in a low mood and you're able to see their troubled state of being, you're actually creating a shield for yourself that will protect you against the rough edges of personalities and differences in our experiences. So use compassion as a way to shield yourself when someone else is feeling really defensive. And instead of going into resentment when someone is being defensive and counterproductive with their behaviors, when you shift into compassion, you're not taking that negative feelings into your body. You're actually just staying neutral, and you're able to see beyond that person's troubled state of mind. Compassion is when we recognize our humanness. Compassion is when we recognize that our experiences are different from other people. Compassion allows us to feel more emotional intimacy with our roommates, with our partner, with our children, and with our family members. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you're able to integrate some of these techniques and enhance your mood when you're low by doing some self-care techniques. You can do visualization, you can do journaling, you can go for a walk, you can make a really, really delicious food, you can play some music and dance. Do anything but engaging with your low mood with another person who can potentially also go onto a path of low mood. And instead, work on yourself, and when you feel better, you can always come back to the conversation, you can always come back to the situation and make it better. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.